Last season we joined Real Madrid and we got off to a good initiation by winning La Liga. However, with just one season remaining at the club, we have to try and put all our priority in the Copa del Rey. Okay, I'm joining you halfway through season 11 because I felt it was a bit pointless showing you the first half of the season because we're not bothered about La Liga. Barcelona are being pretty dominant. They've only dropped 2 points all season in 21 games. Drawn 1, lost none, won 20 out of 21. Pretty impressive. So even if I was bothered about La Liga, I think Barcelona are just making a bit of a stance this season with that. And as we know, the Copa del Rey starts in January. I've come in on the 2nd of February because I want to show you the transfers. And we did make one significant transfer in the January transfer window, which I want to show you. We have played 2 games in the Copa del Rey, which is the 3rd round and the 4th round, which we've won, and we are through to the quarter-final. But I will get into that when I've shown you the transfers and the squad. So again, there were some significant ins and significant outs. In terms of outs, we let Michael Coyote go, our right back. He's gone to Juventus for a potential £81 million. Alejandro Balde has gone to AC Milan for £47 million. So they're 2 fullbacks that have both gone out. Balde, I think, does he play for Barcelona in real life? And he's ended up here somehow at Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappe's contract expired, and for some reason he wanted to go to Tottenham, which not bothered about. That's nice for Spurs, being a Spurs fan, but he is of an age and, you know, he's falling down the pecking order, particularly with the players I were able to bring in, which you can see on your left-hand side. I have brought Endrick back to the club. His contract had expired at Manchester City, and I had a pre-agreement there to bring him in. And then the others, I think, are all new gens, sorry, for those of you that like to call them that. We have David Martinez. We brought him in. He's a winger on the right-hand side. He's Spanish. He will be a good backup player. He's not somebody that's going to be starting games regularly, although he does have a high ceiling. He is only 21. He'll be a good player for Real Madrid's future. We have Ismail Nij from Bayern Munich, again on a free transfer. I've been tracking this lad for a very, very long time, and when I saw that his contract was expiring, I went straight to him and managed to pre-agree for him to come to Real Madrid. He'll be a fantastic player for Madrid. He'll probably stay here for the rest of his career, I would have thought. We're only here for one more season, but we're going to get him in his prime. He's 26, going on 27, so he's going to be fantastic for Real Madrid going forward. And I'm not too bothered about building a really good team here with Real Madrid, providing I win the Copa del Rey. The last thing I want to happen is build Real Madrid into some sort of invincible club and then be needing to go manage someone else to win the Copa del Rey. So all my attention is literally on the Copa del Rey, which I'm not giving a second's thought to anything else. We've had this player at 2 of our former clubs. He came up from the youth academy at Sporting Lisbon while we were there. We brought him to Tottenham Hotspur, where he was fantastic, and now I brought him to Real Madrid, where again, he's in his prime, 25 years old. He's a wonderful centre midfielder, absolutely brilliant. He's become world class, as you can see from his media description, since he's been at Spurs. 172 appearances and 32 goals for them, and he's already made 12 appearances for us this season. A wonderful new gen, really, really fabulous player. Lucas, we brought in from Inter Milan, again on a free transfer. His contract was expiring, and it was one of the reasons I let Kasper Twiska go. I didn't want to give it away in the last video as to what we were doing in terms of strengthening the goalkeeper position, but I did think because this kid was Spanish, he's Spain's number 1, and I saw again his contract was expiring, it was an opportunity for us to dive straight in there. He's 6'9", the guy's massive. He's probably going to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world, so having him here at Real Madrid as their first choice goalkeeper for the foreseeable. Again, 24, young for a goalkeeper, will probably hit his prime around about 28, 29, but he'll be here for the rest of his career, no doubt. Endrick, I talked about, again, coming to the end of his contract, brought him back to Real Madrid. I'm not quite sure why they let him leave in the first place. He's been playing at Manchester City, where he'd scored 18 goals in 73. Not brilliant, but while he's been with us, he's got 7 in 17. He's a good Mbappe replacement, perfect fit for us, and really, really good elite striker. I signed this lad from Flamengo. He can play anywhere down the left. He can even play as an inside forward because he's fairly strong on his right foot. Very strong on his left though, and can play anywhere down that left flank. I thought he was a good player to buy. It was only 9 million, I think he was. He has 17 finishing, which I don't know why he needs that, given he's predominantly going to play left back. But he looked really, really good, and I thought he was just too good to turn down for such a small fee. And finally, the reason why I let Coyote go was because I was signing this player 147 million for a right back. He's the best right back on the game. He's Spanish. It was the one position I thought we needed to strengthen. Coyote, I think, was getting to like 30, 31, something like that. So we needed to bring in a more youthful player, and he's now worth 218 million. He only wanted £250,000 a week, which was less than Coyote, I think. I think he was on like 300. So a lot of money to outlay on this one, but he, like I said, is the best right back in the game. So why not bring him to the best team in the game? Now, I let Rooney Bargi go. Juventus came in with a £111 million bid, and although he did really well for me last season, he's 28. And I know that's not old, but I just felt like we had good strength and depth there with the signings that we've made and the signings we were able to make by selling Rooney Bargi. So I am a little bit gutted to let him go. 9 goals in 25 though, when he's playing as part of that front three, wasn't as clinical as I was expecting. He had a good first half of the season, and the team played really well in the second half of the season, but he individually just didn't. Which is a shame. He's doing really well at Juventus, as you can see with his stats there. He's got 27 goal contributions in 27 starts, so he's doing really well out there at Juventus. And then, as you can see on your right, there were some more transfers that went out there. Arda Güler has gone to Chelsea for 100 million. Luis Gomez went to Paris Saint-Germain for 40. Cosimo Palermo went out for 4.4 million. Jordan Day went to Manchester United for 40 million. He was a young English player that we had, but didn't really play that much. I think he came up through the Leeds United academy. Yep. And Real Madrid signed him for 49 million before loaning him back to Leeds. He was here when I arrived, but as you can see, didn't really make a single appearance in the league, so he's gone back out for 40 million. Nice little income for us. I know the club's lost money on him, but you know, I didn't spend that 49 million, so I've gained 40 million by selling him. Now, in terms of players that we brought in, this player was available for £150,000. Right back who is left-footed, don't know why, but again, like the kid we signed on the left, this lad can play anywhere down the right, which is great, although he's left-footed. I don't get it, but it's fine. It's fine. He's fairly strong on his right. But £150,000, I mean, look at him. He's great. Signed another Spanish player, again, can play anywhere down the right, just filling that homegrown quota. I know we've got 3 players now that can play right back, but 2 of them can actually play in other positions as well, a bit further forward down the field. So we've got strength and depth down that right-hand side, which I'm really pleased with. Another centre-back available for £50 million. It was one of the areas that I did want to strengthen this summer. This player was available. He looks really, really good. 6'6", has very good pace. Not particularly great strength for such a big guy, but he's 16 passing, 16 tackling. He looked good. I think he adds quality to an area that we needed to strengthen, so I'm pleased with getting him in. And then this was our main signing of the season. We spent £187 million on him. And he didn't do that well. The first half of the... I mean, he looks great, and I know we've got really, really good players there already. But he was 22, he's Spanish. I just thought he's going to be quite. He's like a Raul or a Morientes or a Fernando Torres. I just thought it was going to be an exceptional player for us, and I spent a lot of money on him. Like I say, £187 million record transfer fee that we spent, and he just flopped. He didn't have a very good first half of the season, and then struggled to get in the team as a consequence. So in January, I've loaned him out to Inter Milan just to get him some experience. I think, if he comes back, obviously I'm not going to be at Real Madrid when he comes back, but if he comes back, hopefully he can go on to be a legend for Real Madrid in the future. And then one signing that we did make in the January transfer window, this was the key signing I was talking about, we made a January transfer window. We needed a DM, somebody I could trust, and who better than the player that we had at Fiorentina, who was our best player when we were there. He's not been snapped up, he's developed a little bit more, looks very good. And yeah, I was able to get him in for 63 million, I think it was. So he's come in as somebody that I can trust to play in that DM role and compete with Checa. So this is the squad sorted by ability, other than as third choice goalkeeper. Everyone else is 3 stars or above, and most players now are at 4-star or above in the first team squad. It is a very, very good squad. Barcelona are obviously doing really well in the league this season, but this is a very, very good team now. I'm really pleased with what we've been able to build, and other than Jude Bellingham, I feel like I've got the wages down as well. They were paying people a lot of money. And, he's gone up to 650 now. If you remember, he was 625 last season, 600 when we first joined. But yeah, 30 goal contributions in 25 is a fantastic player. Really, really is fantastic. But he's getting of an age. And I think, his contract's due to expire at the end of next season. It'll be interesting to see what Real Madrid do with him after I've gone. But if I was still here, which I won't be obviously, but if I was managing this team, I would probably let him go at the end of his contract, or at least in this coming summer, and try and get some money for him. Yeah, he's an exceptional player, but £650,000 a week is just ridiculous. I cringe at this. I know I signed this kid, but 31 goals, 27. But I don't think I could ever go more than that. It just seems ridiculous that they're paying him that. So in terms of Copa del Rey then, we've not conceded a goal yet. We beat Sanz 8-0 and Cartagena 5-0. And next up, we are away to Atletico Madrid, which is in 2 days' time, which will be a game, the highlights I will show you. And hopefully, we will get through. If you remember, in the last video, I said to you, if we're going to draw Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey, we need to do it away, which we have. Because if we draw them at home, they have an ability to come and beat us at our home ground. Champions League's going really well. We've played some tough teams. Barcelona, Marseille, a former club. Borussia Dortmund, a former club. Paris Saint-Germain, a big club away from home. Porto, a big club away from home. These 2 fixtures here are games you'd expect us to win, and that one you'd expect us to win. The others are all potential banana skins. Marseille, you'd probably expect us to win, given they've not really replicated that form since I left there. Barcelona were always going to be a tricky tie. It's nice to open up the Champions League qualifying phase with the El Clasico. But away to Dortmund, away to Porto, away to Paris, the fact that we've claimed all 3 points in these 2 and then held these to a goalless draw is really pleasing. What you will note is we struggled with the start in terms of defence, but we've started getting there now with not conceding as many goals. And if you're interested, this is our La Liga run. We lost away at the Nou Camp, Barcelona beating us 2-1. We lost away at Sevilla 2-1 as well, which was disappointing. And Atletico Madrid, we have played away and we won. So there is hope for the Copa del Rey. Next game, interestingly, is at home to Barcelona, which comes a week after the Copa del Rey. So it'll be interesting to see how that one pans out. Bearing in mind they've only dropped 2 points all season. Drawn 1, won 20, now at 21. Staggering. Right, okay, I'm going to go show you how we've got on in the Copa del Rey. I'm not going to show you the fixtures from La Liga or the Champions League. We'll purely be on the Copa del Rey and seeing how we get on in that competition. Well, we got off to the best possible start at Atletico when Endrick was set through and slotted it past Calais after just 6 minutes. And just 7 minutes later, we doubled our lead when Checker played it out to Bellingham and his through ball landed at Legrand, who slotted it home. And as the clock ticked down, it was Bellingham and Legrand who combined again, and it was 3-0 on the 84th minute. And the game was wrapped up in stoppage time when we scored our fourth after Bellingham rose like a salmon and headed it home. It gave us a comfortable 4-0 win and put us through to the semi-finals, where we'd play Tenerife with a home fixture first, and Legrand got us off to the best start, slotting home after 4 minutes. And it was 2-0 on the 26th minute when Rodriguez found Niels. And 10 minutes later it was 3 after Endrick smashed it into the top corner. Half-time came and went, but that didn't deter us, and Ibanez made it 4 just a minute into the second half. And it was 5-0 on the hour after Inaki Rodriguez headed home. And just a few minutes later it was soon 6-0 when Niels got his second of the game. We made it 7 on the 72nd minute when Endrick scored another powerful shot. And 8-0 on the 84th minute when Carioca scored with the outside of his right boot at close range. And Carioca got his second of the game just a few minutes later, making it 9-0 going into the second leg. An unbelievable performance, and surely it puts both feet in the final. Particularly when the second leg also finished 9-0, with Laurent Legrand scoring 4. And with Barcelona beating Valladolid, it set it up for an El Clasico final. We had a full-strength side out and I was confident we could get the win, providing we stuck to the game plan. However, we just didn't have our shooting boots on. Endrick was put through on the 16th minute, but unfortunately his shot was just blazed wide. And a few minutes later, Carioca showed why I'd bought him with a mazy run past all the Barcelona defenders, but the end product again was just wasteful. The clock ticked aimlessly towards half-time, and it was 0-0 at the break. However, 1 minute into the second half, and it appeared Carioca had changed to his shooting boots at half-time, because he smashed the ball into the back of the net, and we were 1-0 up. But the man that we'd paid over 100 million for at Dortmund was now playing for Barcelona, and he was left to just run through our entire team and smash it past Lucas to make it 1-1 on the hour. And then on the 71st minute, as goal scorer Carioca had to come off injured. And then 10 minutes after that, we were down to 10 men when Coutinho, who was already on a yellow card, committed another foul, and the referee decided to show him a second yellow card, followed by the red. We managed to hold on until the full-time whistle, and this was going to extra time with us down to 10. But when I'd brought Carioca off, I brought Niels on, and I'd moved Bellingham out to the left-hand side. It seemed to work really well. He'd played a significant part of our success coming in off that left flank, and his header on the 95th minute put us back in the lead against all the odds. And just before we went into the break of extra time, it was Niels that broke through, and it was 3-1, and we were now in pole position to claim this competition. But of course, we're playing against what is now the best team in the land, and they were not going to make it easy for us. Davic was put through just before full time, and he made it 3-2, giving Barcelona a glimpse of hope. But we held on to the final whistle and claimed a very important 3-2 El Clasico victory with 10 men. And we were crowned the Copa del Rey champions, and Spain was complete. We didn't have to make that hard for ourselves. That was tough to watch. I mean, when Coutinho had been sent off after Carioca had been injured, I was struggling to think we were going to win. I didn't see it. We played well, or most of us players played well. There were a few that just weren't in the game at all. Legrand was one of them. You can see there, 6.5 average rating. I left him on because I know what he can do, but he didn't turn up at all. He was, probably played out of the game by Barcelona's defence, but Frank C didn't play well. Coutinho obviously didn't play well and got sent off. Dragovic as centre-back, who we brought in at the start of this season, didn't play particularly well either. Ibanez has been fantastic. He's been a quality centre-back for us. But, yeah, it was just... Carioca coming off injured was probably the hardest take, really, because he was his best player at the time. So he came off, and I had Ishmael Niels, however you pronounce it, Ishmael Niels as I'll call him, on the bench. He was the natural player to come on, and I put him in centre midfield and moved Bellingham out to the inside forward on the left. He's played there quite a bit this season and done really well. So that was an obvious decision to make. And then obviously when Coutinho got sent off, I brought Checker off and put Nizan in at left back, and it seemed to work really, really well. Really pleased. Inaki Rodriguez is his best right back, but he'd been out injured leading up to this, so we played Antoni Granel at right back, and I had Rodriguez on the bench. He was just coming back from injury, but I didn't need him. Granel's been playing pretty well, to be fair to him, while Rodriguez has been out. So that is Spain complete. The Copa del Rey was the last trophy to get, so I'm really pleased with that. I'll show you how we did in the Champions League and La Liga, and as you saw from earlier in the video, Barcelona had only dropped 2 points all season, and then we were due to play them at the Bernabeu next, and we'd beaten them in that. So that was their first defeat of the season, first time they'd lost in the league. We beat them 2-0, and it gave us some momentum to try and get back into it. But then we lost this game against Real Betis, which were a massive kick in the teeth, really. We should have beaten them. They're not a very good side. But we lost 3-2. Look at the number of shots, though. They 4 shots, 3 on target. Typical FM'd, whereas I had 23, 10 on target, and only got the 2 goals. But I'll now show you the league table. We snatched it. Real snatched it. We both finished on 101 points, but my goal difference was superior. I mean, they had a 92 goal difference, which is good. But I had 113. We scored 137 goals, which was just brilliant from us. I think we dropped 2 more points after that defeat to Real Betis, and the rest of the games we won. Real Betis finished in 5th, which, fair play to them, really. But yeah, Barcelona will be kicking themselves. So you can see there, we took top spot with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games left, and then didn't drop it. Whereas Barcelona were, they were top all season, right until that point. We took over them there and then just finished off. They must be gutted. So not only did I beat them in extra time of the Copa del Rey with 10 men, I also snatched the title away from them at the last minute. So that they will be gutted. And we reclaimed the Champions League. We beat Chelsea in the final 3-0. Didn't play Barcelona apart from that first match. We beat Lazio in the semi-final. We beat Paris Saint-Germain in the quarter-final. Arsenal in the round of 16. I actually think the games got easier. I think Arsenal's the best team we played. Then Paris Saint-Germain's probably the second best team we played. And then Lazio and Chelsea, probably similar really. But yeah, we did the treble. We won the Champions League, La Liga and Copa del Rey. I couldn't ask for any more. And that's how the guys finished. Legrand, 52 in 46. What a player. Absolutely wonderful. I mean, he's only 22 as well. Him and, the other kid that I bought, that I spent a lot of money on, that I then loaned back out to Inter Milan. if him and Legrand can form a partnership up front, they'll be deadly for years to come. And I am going to be sad to leave for Real Madrid because I've built a fabulous team. It's all fairly young now, other than Bellingham. You know, the rest of them could be there for 7 to 10 years easily. So they don't need to really go spend big, and they've got a lot of Spanish players in there now as well, so they're fine from a homegrown quota perspective too. So yeah, that wraps that up then. So where do we go next is the question you may ask. Well, as things stand, the only clubs to go to are Fiorentina, which I don't really want to go back to, and Brentford. So we'll have to see if any positions become available in the summer. We're going to resign from Real Madrid, and we will see if that helps with a merry-go-round of managers opening up some opportunities for us in Italy or England, because that's the only two places left to go. We need the FA Cup, and we need the Italian Serie A and the Italian Cup. So that's it from me. I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.